Hey guys, welcome back. We're on day 15, getting close. Only have a few more things, but the list keeps growing on what I have to do before the parts come back from painting. It's almost dinner time, but before that, I'm going to get some work in here and make it bobber time. Had a huge storm all afternoon, and that's awesome because it dropped temps about 10 degrees in the last couple hours, and it's absolutely beautiful out here right now to work. So let's see, what have we got left? I got the valve clearance. I've got the risers to put on. I have to switch out the levers. I can do the front brake job. We can put on both wheels. Assemble the headlight. At least get that wiring done there. Put on the seat and the seat bracket. Maybe do the signals. Get those wired in. That's going to be quite a job. I can put on the plate bracket, the air filter, and I need to do some cleaning up around here. As soon as I get a little bit more assembled, then I'm going to swing it back this way, put the tires on so I've got some more room to work. Let's get started. I'm going to finish up over here and get this ECU remounted. First thing we have to do is get it out of where it's at. Should be able to just pull this bracket out. Looks like there's a rubber mount and it's got some slots in it here that this bracket is stuck in. It's really stuck in there good. There we go. So what they suggest doing is drilling some holes through the battery box, which will be just on the other side of that, and using zip ties to go through these slots and just mount it that way. Oh, come on. I don't want to rip the rubber. It's really stuck. There we go. Bada bing, bada boom. This bracket's garbage. Let me get the battery box again. While you're in here, wash everything you can. Not that we're ever going to see this kind of stuff. It's all hidden. But, can't hurt. So let's drop the tray back in here just so we can locate what we need. I guess I'll just stick this out of the way for now. Where do I want to put that? Is that right? There we go. Gotta come around. Make sure it's laying in the right spot so I can drill my holes. Alright, I'm gonna hand screw in a couple of these just to keep it from moving. And that'll locate where I want to drill the holes. Place the ECU. Come on, get in there. Okay. Not a whole lot of room there. It's definitely not like the instructions say. It looks like the previous model is just I think this was a lot smaller actually from their instruction sheet. It fits completely on the side of this box, but this is like twice as big. So what it can do, I don't want to put it behind here because that's where the shock is, and there needs to be clearance and everything for all that to move. So I'm thinking just zip tying through the top of the bracket because I really don't have much room for the wires to move either. Swinging it forward about here, it can stay there. Okay, so that would secure it at the top. Now the question is this going to be an issue? Just kind of swinging here. I don't think it will be, and you know what? I can take, this might actually be a better solution, just in case. After I put the zip tie in here, I've got some 3M double-sided industrial tape. Oh, you know what? Maybe it's hitting this bump. Let me see if I can just come and catch the side. Now, it still hangs over the bottom. So this lower one, there's absolutely no way to mount to the battery box because it's below the bottom of the battery box. So what I can do is, yeah, I'll drill one hole here, and then I'll use 3M double-sided tape just along here on the bottom while I'm here. Clean that off because the tape won't stick to dirt and grease. That's for sure. There we go. So that'll work. Ugh, so gunky. Years of road grime. There, that's better. So one hole will do. And I'm going to put it just want to locate it here real quick. Right about in that smudge mark right here. Make sure I'm not into anything on the back side. There's no shoulder. There we go. Okay. That'll do nicely. Let me get a couple zip ties. Let's see. Should be able to come right over the top little corner bit there. Back down into this guy. Get it into position. Tighten it down. I don't like how that's going to pull up on the rubber though. See, what they suggested to do is 2 holes, and it actually went around this and around the back, so it was pushing this way on the rubber. I don't want to be pulling up because this will definitely rip that out. So that's no go. Okay, well, how about letting it rest back on its original little rubber mount here, and just zip tying it with some tension to the battery box so it can't swing. No, it's still got pressure on that rubber. That would cut right through it just from vibration. That's already too much. Nope, that's not going to work. Okay. Well, let's see. I could drill a hole through the bottom of the corner and come around like they wanted. Let me see what's in the bottom here. There was already a drain hole on the other side of it, so obviously drilling through the bottom of it isn't an issue. I think I'll do that. All right, I'm going to cut this off, take this out, flip it upside down, drill a hole, and then we'll mount it kind of like they do. But note, if you're using a later model, the ECU is bigger and you can't follow their directions for mounting it. Got the hole drilled, got 2 zip ties. This one's going to come through this bottom slot. And meet up with this one that's coming out the top. A couple screws back in here just to keep this aligned. Tighten it down. Should be good to go. There's one. Get in there. Okay. It's nice and tight. Not too tight. Good to go. Trim this guy off. And that is secure. think I can go ahead and reconnect all the wiring and actually mount the battery box proper. I'll just verify and we'll keep going. Got all the wiring snaked back through, positive and negative, going to the relay, and this will go right to the battery. This is our wiring that's for our brake light and tail lights. This is all going to be snipped off right here. I'm going to have to do a lot of custom wiring, so just leaving this hang here for now. Go ahead and tighten all these bolts back up. I'll tell you, it's really nice getting to the point where you switch your ratchets into Titan mode. That's the that's the halfway point for me. Being real careful on the relay, it's just kind of rubber mounted, not a lot of torque goes on there. Now there is a connector that goes on there. Is that this one? No, it's not that. It's the brake lights. There's got to be one down here I forgot to fish through. Let's see. I got a diagnostic plug. That's not it. Diagnostic plug. That's not it. Alright, what goes there? Does anything go there? This goes on before anything, I know that. That's the water cover for the relay connections. Yeah, there's something I took off there. Where'd it go? Can't see it on this side. What about this side? There it is. Take this cover bag off, because he won't fit through. He was hiding. Does he come around the top? I think he does. Yep, he does. Put that cover back on. Snap this guy back down into place. There we go. Okay, so that's done for now. Let's go ahead and put on the wheels. Do the rear first since those brakes are done. I have to coat splines here and make sure the axle's nice and smooth. A little grease on those. Clean up this pumpkin on this end. Put the cotter pin on. I don't have to do any modifications to this part. All the stuff that I'm going to be adding is external. There's a bracket over here. There's a bracket over here. That's after I get this mounted, so I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. Okay, I've got everything laid out here. I've got a minor issue. This rubber washer I bagged with the rear tire parts, the rear wheel and everything, at the time that I took everything off. And it's, well, I mean, it's conceivably part of the assembly. It looks like it could fit the diameter maybe of that. No, I guess not. Well, here's the point. I don't know where the heck it goes or what it's actually from. It may have been part of the side panel or something and it just kind of rolled over and I picked it up. It's not in the climber's book and it's not in the OEM breakdown. And I don't know what part of the rear assembly a rubber washer would have to do with it anyway. So I'm leaving this out because I really don't think it goes to this, even though I had it in my bag. So what we've got is, first of all, I cleaned everything off, got the axle. Now I'm going to apply some grease to my shaft. That's what she said. I know it's not actually needed, but you know what? It stops corrosion. See all this kind of pitting and the roughness? This would have been prevented if this just had a light coat of grease on it. It makes disassembly a lot easier, and it helps assembly a little bit. So I'm just going to put a light coat on there. Cleaned off the spacer. I have to clean off the surface in here. I'll apply some new moly grease. I'm using Mobil 1 synthetic. It's a very good moly grease. You can use the Honda stuff, you know, whatever, AMSoil, whatever good moly grease you want to use. That's what you want on these splines. And then we've just got our castle nut. My pin is still in good condition. If you need a new one of these, AutoZone has a big pack of them for like $6. And you only need another one if you broke yours taking it off. Now I see a lot of people putting these cotter pins on incorrectly. When you bend it in place, you don't bend it sideways. You bend it this way and you wrap one around the top of the nut. That keeps it on the best. And then we just have a washer and our spacer. Our spacer is what our new bracket for the right side of the fender is going to mount to. And then our new brake assembly goes on. And then our wheel. And that's it. There's nothing on this side. This just completely catches it from here, and I've got to clean this bearing out in here too. Let's go ahead and get it mounted. Okay, whew, that was no fun, my friends. It sure is easier doing a disc brake. Obviously, I made the mistake of thinking it was like the other bikes I've worked on. First bike I've had a drone brake on, so, you know, I'm gonna make goofs. But you have to put the brake assembly on the wheel before it can go in. There isn't quite enough clearance. It looks like there should be, but it's off by about that much to get the lip of the shoe in past the frame here. So off it came. Not a big deal. Now I've got to torque it down. Book spec is 48 foot-pounds. Now here's the thing. I can obviously get a wrench on this end On this one I can't because the exhaust is here. So I'm thinking you're just supposed to kind of hold the nut with a wrench. And once it gets to 48, then I got to look and align one of the holes in the axle with one of the slots in the castle nut so I can put the cotter pin in. As long as it's at least 48, it's going to be good. So I'm going to go ahead and torque that right now. I need to find the right socket and wrench. Well, I may not need to do that. I've got the factory tool here, the little one they give you that comes in the tool kit for the bike. Oh, it still stinks like death. Why'd I do that? So I'm just going to tighten this guy up here. 48 foot-pounds is not a whole lot. That's not too much more than what you put a car lug nut on. We'll see what I can torque this to. If that bolt is spinning, then I don't have a choice, but it's not. And I remember that when I took it off, all I had to do was unsnug this nut. That held tight, so there's really no point in trying to torque that side. And again, if you aren't experienced and can fairly accurately judge torque specs, you'll have to take the exhaust off and use a torque wrench on this. I have a lot of experience, and right there we're at least 48, and I've got half the hole showing, so I'm going to take it a little bit more, probably just into the 50s, and now that bolt is just starting to spin, so I may have to hold that just to uncover the rest of this hole. I mean, I've got like maybe 2 millimeters that I need to uncover yet. Give it a quick jerk. There we go. Let's see if it's enough. If the cotter pin goes through, we're good. If not, I'll have to put a socket on there and hold that steady. Let's see if the pin will go through. Again, when you put a cotter pin on, you bend it parallel with the axle, not perpendicular. You don't wrap around the axle, you go over the end of it. Personally, I don't see the freaking point of these things anymore. You know, just a better bolt design with a little bit higher torque, and you don't need them. I mean, I understand on like a race bike or something for absolute security so that fasteners can't fly off and end up in an intake or something like that. But I mean, come on, this is so 1950s. This is what I expect to see on freaking Harleys. And you know what? I think Harleys still use these on things like brake controls. It's just ridiculous. Let's see. So close. So close. No, not quite though. Just not quite lined up. I need 1 more millimeter. All right, let me find a socket for that. Alright, that should do it. So now I just need to budge one or the other. Doesn't matter. Why is that not? Holy monkey. Is that starting to round the nut? It is a 17, right? That's a funky fit. It's not a 16. It's a Stanley socket. It's not like it's a Chinese piece of crap. Alright then. Let's see if I can just keep moving this around and get that missing millimeter. Try loosening it a bit. Just going to the hole from the other side. It's still on there with plenty of torque. Alright, let's see if that lines up now. Tight fit, but it went through. Whew. It's hot again. Alright, now we pull it through all the way to the bottom. And of course it's on the bottom, but not the sides. Come on, get down there. And bend the tab over. Not much room on this one. There's hardly any pin to grab. There we go. Just kind of lever it up, bend it around. And when you can't see it, you don't have to make it real pretty, but as long as it's bent up and touching the axle, you're good. And there we go. Ow. Little sharp piece on there on the exhaust. Okay. Oh, and that's that. Rear wheel on. Do a little cleanup here with the grease. I took the big stock bolt that was out here that held on that fake swing arm. There's a new bolt, a nice shiny one, that comes with the rear bracket kit. So let's go ahead and put that on. Here we've got our bracket kit. The left side. New fasteners and everything. And this is going to go right in there. Let's see what else we got in here. Big old bolt for something. Got some supplemental instructions. Do not something forget to drink your Ovaltine. I'm going to pause for a second. Neighbor's coming over to talk. Nope, never mind, he's taking us garbage. No rubber. Oh, that's what that rubber bushing was for. That was probably because they had the saddlebags installed. Okay. No rubber. Rubber bushing. I am not really sure what the heck that means. Yeah, okay, so it's the same. Do they want the rubber or do they not want the rubber? No rubber. Rubber bushing. What do you guys think? We've got, looks like a shoulder in here. Oh, okay, maybe it's for different gear options, because this bolt here has a little spacer, and this one here does not. So I think it's saying if your bike has no rubber, which mine does not, use this one. And if it does have a rubber, use that one. Well, mine did have a rubber, but it doesn't now, so I guess I'll use this one. Need a little clarification there, but I think we'll figure it out. When I put the fender on, if something looks funky, I'll know I chose the wrong one, but I think this is the right one. So they got some tape protecting the threads here. And I have no fingernails. Come on. Get off there. There we go. Get off. Get. Jesus, how much tape do they need? This is like finding the fresh end of a toilet roll. Come on now. There we go. They're really protective about their fastener threads, let me tell you. Which is fine. Stop it. Get off. Finally. Okay. So I'm just going to install this loose now. They didn't say anything about thread locker, and there wasn't any on here on the stock bolt, so I don't think it's necessary. It's a big old bolt, takes a lot of torque. So, the question is it going to bottom out because I don't have that fake swing arm in? I may need that spacer from the other bolt. Let's see. Oh, it's going to be close. Just enough. Sweet, so I don't need anything else. Well, that looks better than the black one that would have been sticking out. Cool. So I'll just put that on hand tight. Let me wipe off. I wondered where that grease was coming from. I saw it on my hand. I bumped into this here. I forgot to clean it. There we go. That's better. Okay. Now let's swing on over to the other side. Hook up the brakes and put on that bracket. See if we want to do anything else today. I know I have to run to the store. I gotta go to Walmart, get another stack of those white terry cloth towels. I'll tell you, those are a great deal. I consider them disposable. They're so cheap. If you get grease on your tire, be sure to wipe it off. That's sweat though. I was just making sure. Those terry cloth towels, man, they're so durable. They come in a huge stack. Sam's Club has them dirt cheap too, and I actually might go there because I do have a membership. When you need something a little bit rougher or tougher than a paper towel. I don't like using paper towel on stuff around edges because, man, it shreds. You know, like when I wanted to clean up the cuts I made on the frame, paper towel just was going to come apart. So terry cloths are really great for that. And when they get super greasy and dirty, instead of putting them in the wash, you just chuck them. Because if they're packed with grease and stuff, they're just going to get the rest of your laundry dirty. They're cool. Anyway, let's swing on over here. Down here we've got our brake actuator lever, and you know what? Stupid me. I think I have to loosen this nut again unless I can get this to shift, because I didn't connect yet the brake housing to the brake bracket down here. This whole thing has to rotate quite a bit clockwise, and it seems to be quite jammed in place. Let me kick it into neutral, see if I can spin it by hand. Putting it into neutral there, I just realized that I forgot to put in the bottom bolts that hold on the foot brackets when I took off the crash bar. So I got to do that right after this here. Let's see if this will spin at all. I doubt it will. Oh, yep, it does. Woohoo! Nice. Saved me some work. So let's see, I gotta go another 15 degrees or so. Oh, almost there. Little too much, back the other way. Perfect. Okay. Now we can put on our brake bracket. Let me find the fasteners for that. Oh, you know what? That's where that rubber washer came from. Aha. Yep, that's exactly where it came from. Let's see. This little guy goes in this arm. He's the same either way, doesn't matter which direction. This washer and spring go on the actuator lever. Washer first, goes against the stop down there at the end. And I'll adjust the brakes later on. Okay. Oh, you son of a... You son of a... That's got to go underneath the dang axle. I thought I was being smart by putting this up top to get the wheel in easier. Nope. Not smart at all, Brian. Not smart at all. Son of a... Let me see if it's easy to disconnect at the other end. Or easier than taking the stupid wheel off again, I should say. At least axle. No, it is not. That connection is way up there. Darn it. Okay. Get to do part of this again now. Let me take this guy out again so I don't lose him. Man. See, I wasn't kidding when I said this is my first time doing this. Live and learn. And the cotter pin down. Pull the pin out. Really hate cotter pins. So dumb. There is hardly any clearance for this pin, too. Alright, well, let me get all this out. I'll be back. Man, that sucked. Have I mentioned how much I love cotter pins? Holy crap. Well, I mangled the hell out of this one, so I'm going to go up to AutoZone and get a new one right after I get this swapped over. Oh, man. That was about 20 minutes, seriously. 2 sets of pliers, trying to hammer it. It just didn't want to budge. So, let's see. Got to take the castle nut off. Oh, I can't believe I did that. I hate redoing work. It's one of my biggest gripes with clients, too. When they change their mind or give me wrong info and I end up having to redo stuff I've already done. This is one of those days. For no reason, you know? I don't mind investing time in a project as long as it's worthwhile. What the heck? Come on, get on there. It's just being difficult. Here we go. Alright, so all I've got to do is back the axle off enough, which is going to be a little difficult because I got to start it. There's nothing to grab on the other side. Just got to get through the spacer, get the spacer off so I can drop this underneath. Might as well take this off so it doesn't go bouncing around somewhere. Oh, let's see. How did I get that started? I think I just gently pried it against the pipe here. Yeah, there we go. And then what did I do on this side? I just pried it a little bit with my pliers. There we go. Save the washer. I should be able to pull it out, lifting the tire a little bit, just an inch or so to Get that spacer out again. Not quite. There we go. A little more. There we go. Now we drop the brake linkage down. Now we put the spacer back. Now we put the axle back in. Man. Get in there. That's right, I had to tap the axle in. It's real snug going through the frame on the other side. Lift the whole wheel a little bit, give it a couple taps. And we're in. Washer. Nut. Tighten nut. Yep. Is it beer 30 yet? There we go, getting snug. Torque it. Come on, get on there. Find the hole. A little more. Okay, now that's going to be it for now. Going to the store. I'm going to hit up Sam's, get some more terry cloths, hit up AutoZone, get a new cotter pin, and I'll finish up the brake linkage and everything tomorrow. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. Check out the site, TwoWheelObsession.com. Don't forget to share it if you like this project. Hey, do me a favor. Share it with your buddies. Question of the day. Talking about maintenance. Do you do your own? Do you pay a dealer for it? Do you have a buddy that's a real good mechanic that you trust? Or are you like a lot of owners and you just kind of cross your fingers and don't do anything other than maybe change the oil? Be honest. Nobody's judging. There's always room to improve. If you are that type, like the previous at least 2 owners of this one was, hey, here's your wake-up call. You know, if you've been watching this series, now you know physically why you need to do stuff, so now you can learn how to do it or have it done. You know, the stuff is very important. So give me your thoughts. See you next time, guys.